Hey, fiancé freaks, I'm Sam.
I'm Emily, and this is 90 Day Fiancé Freaks.
What's my prize, Emily? What do I get for winning our bet from last week? We didn't set a wager, but I won 0% chance Zied was proposing to Emma, and he did not. Thank you very much.
Well, you win a gold fucking star, Sammy, because you're right. I was absolutely wrong. I said 100% chance. It was 0% chance. She got a birthday cake, which she did want dessert in the desert, so she got something she wanted, but...
Hey, you won that part. I think you said there's like a 7% chance she would get dessert in the desert, and she did, so I'll go...
And she should be happy, right? She should be happy with her cake.
Yeah, apparently that's such a romantic gesture to get a cake on your birthday that you have to cut yourself and serve yourself.
Given her standards, that should be perfectly fine for her.
And you know what? I applaud her for raising them a little bit because it was not fine for her. She was pissed.
She was pissed. She was sad. She was disappointed. It was, she wanted to be proposed to, but like, are they ready? Are they ready to be engaged?
No, clearly not. And I do have to give it to Zied that he said that. He said, I don't feel like I know you. I'm not ready to get engaged to you yet. He said, you have a lot of liars inside you.
He was right. They're not ready to be engaged. She wants it. They're just not there.
No, they're not. And so I do respect him for that. Let's talk about this desert adventure, though. The tents with the little fireplaces and the beautiful beds. And it was magical.
So cute. Emma is ready for this terrain. She's in her chunky heels. Chunky heels and sparkly hair. As they were walking up to the tent, I noticed like the most gorgeous sparkling shimmer in her hair. And her chunky heels. Ooh. She has to remind Zied to slow down and help her.
I know, she tries to take his arm and he like blazes forward. She's like falling all over behind him. I did feel kind of bad for her in that moment, but he warned her, to be fair. He's like, those are not desert shoes at all.
Did Emma bring desert shoes on this trip?
Well, when she's packing, she has 4 pairs of flip-flops that she packs up, but we don't see them on her feet at all. We see the little slides that the resort gives them.
Emma did not bring desert shoes. Absolutely not. I did not notice what shoes she was wearing as she climbed on the camel, though. Did you? Was she still wearing the chunky heels?
Oh, that's a great question. I think she switched to the slides because I think I did have a sense of relief as she was walking to the camels that she was in not the chunky heels. But we're going to have to double check that. I'm going to go back and double check that.
That was cool. Getting up on a camel. Camels are really tall. They have really long legs. I had not pieced that together until I saw Emma on the camel and the camel standing up and it grows into a mountain. They're high off the ground.
She bonded with her camel.
I just have to wonder, why didn't Muhammad take her out into the desert to ride camels?
I wondered that too. I thought to myself, this cannot be the first time this woman has ridden a camel. She's already been to Morocco and it's clearly a huge fantasy of hers.
But she is being honest and forthcoming with Zied all about Muhammad. She told him she hasn't ridden camels. Why would she lie about just that?
No, I don't think she was lying. It was very clear that was pure delight at the first time she'd ever gotten up on a camel. So I do agree that she's not lying, but I'm just confused about why Muhammad never took her on a camel in the desert. But she does finally tell Zied about Muhammad.
So they're on the camel ride, then they have dinner in the desert. Emma is so exhausted of chicken tagine.
She is. And when you say they have dinner in the desert, you mean Emma has dinner in the desert, right? Because Zied doesn't eat a single thing. What's going on? Is it Ramadan?
He's really nervous. She does point that out. And that's why I think she thought she was going to get a proposal. That's also why I thought she was going to get a proposal, because of how nervous he is. He's so nervous he can't even eat. His nerves are not about proposing. I think it's the opposite. His nerves are about her expectation, wanting him to propose, and he's not proposing. It's not Ramadan because he eats the cake.
He does, and it's after sundown, so he could have eaten anyway. But I just was very confused, and I thought that was pretty offensive, honestly. Just put a little on your plate and, move it around or take a tiny nibble. Just to have her sit there eating in front of you, I would not have appreciated that.
The dinner was insanely awkward. They were sitting in silence. They didn't have a single thing to say to each other. Every interaction looked so forced. I wonder if it's like that all the time with them. I think maybe it's like that quite a bit of the time, but it was much worse in this scene because of her birthday and because of the expectations that Ziad knew he wasn't going to meet.
It's always like that. Emily, it's always like that between them. It's so awkward. And I think it was last episode she said something about their chemistry. And it made me think of us. I was like, girl, what chemistry? We've been over this. You ain't got no chemistry. Okay.
She said they finally did grow a little bit of chemistry after they had sex. And that was how their segment started. And I did love that part because I swear, Sammy, in these reality TV shows, when the couples don't have sex, everything is so much worse. If you're going on a reality TV show and you're trying to fall in love, you're trying to find your soulmate in whatever capacity it may be, you're going in with the commitment and the idea that this is your person for life. So you better fuck them. If you don't have sex with this person and you're on TV, the tension is just going to continue building. You have to break that tension, all the pressure that they're under being filmed. So I loved what Emma said when she was talking about their chemistry. They finally had chemistry. I mean, do they have chemistry? No, absolutely not. Did having sex help their situation? Yes, absolutely.
Temporarily, apparently, because he's happy in the car, but as soon as they get to the desert, he's in his own tent again. And I wonder sometimes if it's for appearance sake, if he actually is sneaking into her tent at night, but I feel like she would tell us that. She's been pretty forthcoming.
Right, so why is he willing to have sex with her twice and then not at least sneak into her tent?
I don't know. I can't explain this man. I'm so tired of trying to understand him. He's just a wet blanket.
Well, I definitely would have had a serving of that chicken tagine, Emma. I would have sat at that table with you on your birthday. I would have loved to have tried the chicken tagine.
And the birthday cake. That was a sweet little birthday cake.
Yeah. Forrest and Sheena are still in Sheena's provincial home. Forrest is so relieved about the conversation that has been had.
I took this and extrapolated it to life in general, Emily, because the fact that Forrest walks in, sits down with Molly and says to her, I feel so good about last night. And then the look on her face, just utter and complete confusion because she felt the opposite. It just goes to show that two people can have the exact same interaction, but completely different experiences.
Yes.
Because he was all comforted by it. He's like, okay, we're good to go. No problem. I'm going to propose. Molly's like, come again? Huh? What? I loved her approach to gently reminding him that your autism does lead you to, and then he cuts her off. He says, I love everybody. I love everybody. Oh, that was so endearing.
He knows, and she helps him find that self-awareness. The conversation that came next was super fascinating to me between just Sheena and her dad. That was the first time we saw Sheena talking to her family without Forrest or Molly present.
What do you think about what her dad said and what they finally ultimately agreed on? Because they agreed that she does need to keep helping her family culturally.
I think that their conversation was completely reasonable. It was completely normal. It wasn't outrageous or strange in any way. The piece of this whole situation that keeps bothering me is the way that it's being named as Sheena is lying. The number of times that's being said over and over again is really bothering me. And I think that's one of the reasons that sometimes Molly rubs me the wrong way, because I think that she is the one who's putting those words out there. I think that that is one way that this could be communicated, this situation. That's one angle at which to look at it. I think a more accurate view is it's a cultural misunderstanding. Sheena is not all in the wrong. She's not just lying. She's in a situation where she's being pulled at from multiple angles. Forrest is not contributing financially.
Oh.
And that is not okay. And Molly doesn't say shit about that ever. She skirts around it. I'm tired of the entire narrative being Sheena's lying, Sheena's lying, Sheena's lying. That is one small piece of the narrative.
Yes, thank you for pointing that out. Why is everything all on her? It just makes no sense to me why Forrest can't pull his weight in one way or another. He says, that's my job as her husband, but when are you going to start doing that? I will say, though, let's not underestimate Sheena because she's an intelligent woman. And I do think she knows what she's doing. I would agree with you that it's not all her fault. It's not all on her. But I do think she is purposely telling different people different things so that she doesn't have to have these uncomfortable conversations. Because what needs to happen, Emily, she just needs to tell Forrest, I'm not contributing to this. I have to contribute to my family. Maybe we'll go halvesies, but I am not the only one responsible for filling this bank account to get my ass over there.
She does. She needs to be honest. She needs to be forthcoming with Forrest. She's afraid to lose him, which does make sense to me. Molly is so involved in their relationship, and she criticizes Sheena for her dad being so involved in her life. That really, to me, was like, okay, the pot calling the kettle black.
I was just going to say, hello, pot, this is Kettle. You're black. Are you kidding me?
Seriously, so you are right. Sheena needs to be honest with Forrest. It's hard to blame her for this situation.
There you go. I think that's exactly right. I think she does not need the blame. And this is very much an and situation, right? She does not deserve all the blame. And she does have a responsibility to just rip off the Band-Aid, Sheena. And I wish she could see what we see, that Forrest will never leave her. She could run Molly over with a truck, and I don't think Forrest would leave her.
I hope not. I hope not, Sammy, because Forrest
Really?
is so dependent on his mom. His mom is unbelievably integrated into his life in every aspect. I think that he might leave her to his own heartbreak.
Really?
Just because of how reliant he is on Molly.
Oh.
He's so reliant upon Molly that he might have no choice but to leave Sheena if Molly forces it to be so.
Interesting. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe we'll make another little wager because I just feel like he has been standing up to Molly a little bit. So maybe.
The way that he cries, though, in his interview when he talks about if he did have to leave Sheena.
Oh, my heart.
So heartbreaking. He would be heartbroken to leave her.
That was such a raw, vulnerable, real moment. That was really, really beautiful.
I definitely teared up.
I did too, and I want someone to cry over the thought of losing me like that. But they do have another hard conversation. So Molly and Forrest had their private convo. Steve and Sheena had their private convo. Katrina and Deb had like a bird chirp off. It was amazing. Did you see that?
I was just over the moon to hear a few words of wisdom from Dev this episode. He's been there in a few episodes lately, utterly silent. This episode, we hear his voice, and I was excited.
We got so much good Dev content this episode. I was delighted. But my favorite, I think, was he's telling Katrina how the birds chirp at home, and he makes the call, and then Katrina's like, oh, really? Here they do this. Chirp, 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 chirp. Just such a cute, pure, beautiful moment between them. So the whole family then gets together, or rather Forrest and Sheena and Steve and Molly, and they do talk about how they're going to proceed with this finances, because Molly and Forrest have the idea that they should have a joint bank account, and Steve straight up says they're not married yet. Why would they have that? They're not married yet. I kind of agree with him. Do you?
I don't know that I agree with either of them. Here's what I think. I
Mm.
think they're all meddling.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Forrest and Sheena's decision.
Yeah.
I think that if Forrest and Sheena want to have a joint bank account before marriage, they should. I think that if they don't want to, they shouldn't. They might disagree within their relationship and they need to find a way to come to agreements between the two of them that don't involve the families.
And see, I think that Sheena doesn't actually want this. I think she's on her dad's side. I think she's fine giving them money because it is a cultural obligation. And I think she doesn't want, not that she doesn't want, but I don't think she's as on board with the joint bank account. And this is where I think she runs into trouble with everybody calling her a liar and thinking she's lying. She's not lying. She's just trying to appease everyone. She thinks that she can make everyone happy if she just does what everybody wants. But that's unfortunately not the case. So I don't think she really cares to have a joint bank account, especially if she's the only one putting money in it.
Right, right. That's the other huge piece of this. We have spent episode after episode after episode talking about Sheena's lying, about Sheena's financial contribution. And then finally, at the very, very end of their stay, the very last minute, they're about to get on the vehicle and drive away. This is when we finally get the time to address the fact that Forrest is not contributing. Sheena's dad finally brings that up in a way that Molly doesn't immediately shut him down. It's enraging. It needs to be a bigger part of this story. It's not fair.
And I was enraged at the solution they ended up at, which was that Sheena is going to send screenshots weekly to show Forrest how much she saved in the account. What? How dare you? If you're not putting money in that account, you don't get a screenshot of it. Why does she owe him any accountability financially when he does not contribute? We're beating a dead horse here. I know. Truly don't understand.
So they finally get in the vehicle. They drive away, going back to the city. I just have to mention that fruit stand with the mini bananas. Have you had those mini bananas, Sammy?
No, I haven't.
They're so good. I've never had them in the US. I've had them in Costa Rica and Kenya. They're sweeter. They are a different type of banana. Did you know that there are over 1,000 different varieties of bananas grown worldwide?
What? 1,000?
This is a fact I did not know until I lived in Kenya and I tried so many different types of bananas. Those mini bananas are not the same as the one variety of bananas that we get here in the US at the grocery store. They're sweeter, the texture is different, they're creamier. They are delicious, okay? I used to buy a branch of those mini bananas and a little baggie of freshly ground peanut butter from ground nuts that were grown right there, right outside my window, and eat the bananas with the peanut butter.
Oh, wow.
The best snack. So those little mini bananas, one thing I can agree on with Molly is her just wonder and awe at the nature, the food, the culture. She really is integrating herself into the culture where they are and really experiencing it and appreciating it. So that's one thing I can agree with her on. I also needed to go to that fruit stand.
I've said it before. I want to travel with Molly and Dev. I think they would be a hoot. Like,
Yes.
she gets so into the culture. She's really actually pretty open-minded. She's trying all the food. She's in the baths. We didn't even talk about the baths, the kawa bath with the herbs and the flowers. And then you've got Dev there massaging his face with a leaf. And then he takes a bundle of leaves and slapping himself. He knew what to do in this bath.
The best back scratcher, he says. And Molly's like, don't you dare be trying to take that on the airplane, Dev.
You can't take that home.
They were so cute in those kawa baths. That looked amazing. Do you know what it reminded me of?
What?
After giving birth in the birth center, they give you a bag of herbs and they run you a fresh bath and pour the herbs in and make you this like beautiful, amazing herb bath. That kawa bath just drew those memories out of me because of the herbs, the flowers, the perfumes, the scents, the healing nature of plants, I think is
Oh,
so cool.
yes. That sounds amazing. Hospitals don't do that. Unsurprisingly.
Damn it.
Damn it. But yes, Molly is a delight to travel with. I love watching her wonder. She's just wide eyed and wonders at everything. And maybe these tiny bananas will make me a banana convert because you're describing them deliciously, whereas most bananas are disgusting.
Listen, if you are considering most bananas to be the one kind of banana that you buy in the grocery store in the United States, girl, you have not even scraped the tip of the iceberg. 1,000 different types of bananas. There's a whole world of bananas waiting for you out there, Sammy.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yet another reason to travel and eat all the things. Well, while Molly and Sheena go down to the fruit stand and try some other delicious looking fruit, which I didn't know what it was, but the woman cuts it up right there on the street and they eat it. Looked delicious. Dev and Forrest have a man-to-man conversation overlooking this beautiful landscape. And Dev said something yet again that will live with me forever. He said, "You ask her simple questions and she don't give you simple answers." I'm like, okay, Dev. Okay.
What I took away from their conversation was Forrest's response to it in the interview when he said, Dev is very wise, but what he says is also very confusing. And I thought, yes, love Dev, love him, but dude's not making much sense right now.
I do love the little Devisms. Beercon and Laura have some pretty deep conversations as well this episode. We start out hearing them in their bedroom talking about Beercon's gambling. And again, Beercon with these very definitive statements. He says, "You can't stop something that is destined." Talking about their relationship and their love. It does it for Laura.
I mean, he's just such a unique guy. When they're cheersing on the boat, Laura wants to cheers to them and the experience. Beercon says, cheers to Nietzsche.
The look on Laura's face.
Okay.
She's like, okay. Cheers to him, I guess.
He's genuine. He is who he is. It has not changed since the beginning of this show. Like, he's not faking it. He's not pretending to be a philosopher. Like, this is literally the way he thinks, the way he speaks, the way he views the world. And by the end of their segment, I was convinced that they're made for each other.
I know. He is so good at that. Like, what the fuck, Beercon? You need to teach a class or something on how to do this.
She can't stay mad at him. And I see why for her specifically. Mm-hmm. He's not a charmer. He's not an overall sweet talker or charmer of women. I think that he knows how to charm Laura.
Oh, he's smug as hell. He is a smug one, and usually that rubs me the wrong way. But for some reason on him, I'm like, God damn it, all right. The thing is, you're absolutely right about the consistency. He's been this from day one. I did not want to like him.
Especially given the relationship with Michael. We've been rooting for Michael since the first couple of episodes until we actually met Beercon. And the more I get to know him gambling, I mean, who cares? It's not like he's a gigolo or a drug dealer. A little bit of gambling, whatever. You can live with that, Laura.
He is who he is, like you said. And I had some really interesting conversations. He said, "You trying to control me will make it worse." I feel like that's a young thing to say. He's 26 years old. He's obviously like wants to be the alpha male, obstinate young guy. But at the same time, I do kind of respect that, him telling her, "I will try my best, but you trying to control me and puppet me is not where it's at. It's not what's going to change this situation." And then he says, "I will try to be perfect for you. Just don't try to change me." And that got my wheels turning, did it not?
I think that he is processing out loud. Like you said, he's young. He's learning as he goes. He wants this to work with Laura. He's giving it his all. I think he's right about Laura not changing him. And in saying that out loud, he's processing the fact that just because she doesn't change me doesn't mean that I can't choose to change myself for her.
Yes.
And when he says that statement, he's showing that type of maturity and growth and willingness to advance their relationship by making changes in himself to be a better person for her.
It's leadership.
Yes.
Which I was like, what, Beer Con?
Was not expecting that out of Beer
Was
Con,
not.
which makes him more attractive.
I know. Because what he's saying to me in that sentence is, I see you, and I need you to see me.
Oh, heartwarming. And then they're on the boat and it's gorgeous and she knows it's expensive, but who cares?
It's gambling.
The sea, the beautiful color of the water. They're out on the front of the boat. He appears with flowers. I mean, he's winning her over, which is actually really cute and another really good sign in their relationship. They can get mad, they can express their feelings, they can show each other when something about the other one is truly upsetting and worrisome, and then they can get over it. They can make up. They can move past that.
Yeah. And the flowers, that was so cute. He's like, oh, I just found these in the sea.
Smug as hell.
Smug, but adorable. How is he doing
Adorable.
it?
Yeah.
Ugh, I'm very confused. We do find out a little bit more about Laura's divorce and why she has the approach to relationships that she has. She been burned. Also been burned with money. The man took all her money, and now she's with someone who is not great with money. That has got to be a little bit triggering for her.
Definitely. Her situation made more sense after that background story.
And then Beer Con got broken up with by a text from his girlfriend after he just lost his entire career due to an injury, adding actual insult to actual injury.
Right.
I felt bad for him when he revealed that.
Same.
Beer Con said, a part of me is alive again because of you.
Aww.
Oh my gosh.
That type of statement in this show can really come off as disingenuous or manipulative. When Beer Con said that, that was not how it came off at all. It came off genuine.
It did.
And Laura took it that way too.
She did. She really felt it in that moment. And much different than, for example, Lisa being told, oh, you saved this man from a life in the gutter. Like, that is a red flag.
That is exactly the situation I was thinking of. They can bond over their heartbreak and just ride off into the sunset together.
Boat off into the sunset.
Laura, Beer Con, and Nietzsche.
Yeah. Who's Michael? Who dat?
Oh, we see who dat next episode, apparently.
I can't wait.
Lisa and Daniel are poolside. Well, Lisa is poolside. Daniel is still upstairs. She appears to have needed some space from him. They don't know where to go from here. They got in the argument last night with the friends. Lisa still doesn't have closure about the woman Daniel's been messaging in the U.S.
But then he comes down and sits next to her poolside and completely, absolutely open up the dictionary, look up the word gaslighting. You will see Daniel sitting poolside with Lisa. Like fucking book. Textbook gaslighting.
Lisa calls it out too when she goes up to the room. She's like, I think he's gaslighting me.
And it's just not smart, Daniel. Like, how did you think this was going to go? Because not 12 hours ago, you did admit to knowing this woman, and now you don't. And then later in this scene, you do again. So you're just not a smart move.
This is such a classic example of either coming clean and being honest about your intentions or trying to hide them and sweep them under the rug when it is so unbelievably obvious what you're doing. It is okay to want to find an American fiance. It's okay to want to find a Moroccan fiance. It's okay to want to go find a Malagasy fiance. It's not okay to lie and pretend like that's not what you're doing. The way in which you go about doing it is huge.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. It does give me pause though, because I agree with you completely, but fiance freaks, let's ask you, do you think it is quote unquote okay to specifically find an American fiance or a Malagasy fiance, or is that weird? I don't think it is. I think, we all have our types. We all are drawn to different cultures, different aesthetics, different whatever it may be, food. But I can see where some people might find a little bit of an aspect of targeting or deception, as far as, like you said, just be transparent about it. Also, maybe don't find 5 American white women fiancés and lie about it. You know what I mean?
I do. I know what you mean. And this was the situation with Zied too. He was talking to, what, was it hundreds of different girls?
Yeah, absolutely. There doesn't have to be anything wrong with it, but it can very quickly turn a little suspect, I think.
When it becomes something that you're lying about nonstop, that's when it's the issue.
And that's when you know it's wrong. If you just own it, you say, yeah, my mom had a vision that I'd marry a white lady, so I went online and I looked up every white lady I could find. And then, fine. And then I chose you out of all of them. That's actually kind of nice.
Exactly. Just because you are going after many different American white women all at once doesn't mean you have to frame it in a negative way. Like the way that you just framed that makes it sound sweet. He could have been honest. He could have made it sound sweet. Done.
Lisa also calls him a narcissist, which I kind of thought was another maybe a little situation of pot and kettle.
Oh my gosh, 100%.
Just her and Faith. She is the narcissist, right?
Yes.
So maybe they're meant for each other. Can 2 narcissists be together? That seems problematic. Any narcissist in a relationship is problematic, but
it seems problematic.
2 of them.
Well, I loved Lisa's one-liner, secrets of the past and secrets of the present.
I agree with her, but also I don't know. Where do you fall on that?
I agree with her in that phrase. I think that she and Daniel both have secrets of the past. Mm-hmm. I don't think that Daniel is currently cheating on her, is currently talking to anyone else. I truly believe that Daniel's life has been changed by Lisa as his friends have gone on and convinced us of this fact. Daniel is going to be true to Lisa and follow through with that relationship because of how much she's giving him. Does he have secrets of the past? Yes. Does Lisa have secrets of the past? Oh, hell yeah. We know.
Yes. He got some side pieces, Emily.
You think so? Right now? Currently?
1,000%. Not now that she's in the country. I don't think he's seeing anybody while she's there, but you cannot convince me he doesn't have some bitches on call when she leaves. It would just be so easy. Okay, ethics, morals, meh, but why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't a young single guy with a fiance all the way across the world, nothing better to do? I wish I did believe in his heart being pure and true.
No, you are so right. You have 100% convinced me.
Yes.
He is being faithful to her while she's physically there, but there is absolutely no chance that he is not getting it on with some other hot Nigerian girls when she's on the other side of the globe and they're still together messaging. You have absolutely convinced me of that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Because I don't think he sees the harm in it. I think he really is devoted to Lisa. And you said this a couple episodes ago that he does want to marry Lisa. He might not be in love with her in the way that we want him to be, but he does want this to be a successful relationship. So I think he thinks as long as he doesn't get caught, as long as she doesn't know any better, he can keep doing what he's doing until he goes to America. Whether or not he'll have side pieces in America, that's another story. But I think he doesn't see the harm in it, and he truly doesn't think he's hurting her because it doesn't affect their relationship in his mind. Mm-hmm. But at the end of their segment, he does say he denied knowing that woman because A, Lisa showed him the wrong picture. Okay, bullshit. Not her fault. Completely gaslighting. B, he says, I was trying to date American women and I didn't want to get caught.
So he does admit to it. And in his interview, too, he says, I'm getting caught right now. He does finally admit it. He just should have had a little bit of foresight and thought it through and thought of how to be honest, but how to frame it positively.
We finally get to see what Javon's been paying $600 a month for. Annalyn's cush lifestyle.
Shoes, travel pictures, closets, and upstairs and downstairs. Oh, please, Javon.
She needs to downgrade, Emily. She'd be living too large on his dollar.
Well, he's in a small apartment with 3 roommates.
That does confuse me. And $600 a month when you're working an hourly job at a nursing home, that's got to be a big chunk of his check. He's not making thousands and thousands of dollars a month, I bet.
$600 a month in the Philippines? I don't know for sure. I think that would go a long way. And if she is traveling all over the place without him, that's a pretty big red flag. Especially that they've been together for, is it 6 years? And they've never met? And she's prioritizing traveling alone on his paycheck over him saving money to come visit her? What?
That was a red flag. That was the most suspicious part of it to me, was the travel. I can imagine that apartments in the Philippines maybe don't cost as much as we would imagine.
Right.
Double level, it does look like a bigger place than he seems to have, but that's all just cost of living where you are. The travel, though, I would be resentful just because, yeah, he'd be home working at a nursing home day in, day out, obviously not traveling. I will say, though, travel in Asia is super cheap. So she might be getting like a $20 flight to some beach somewhere. And, I don't think it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get to these places she's going. And to your point that it's been 6 years, what's the girl supposed to just sit in that apartment for 6 years? She gets to do some stuff.
Yeah, but she could go out and get a job and contribute to him actually buying a ticket to come and meet her instead of spending her time and money traveling. You're right about travel in Asia being much cheaper, flights and accommodations, and she should be able to do that. But if she has time to do that, she should also have time to get a job and contribute financially to the relationship. I'm all about equal partnership. Everyone should be contributing in some way, something. I can't remember if it was this episode or the last one when we know that Javon is contributing quite a bit financially, and in either this episode or the last episode, Annalyn said that the way that she's contributing is by not leaving him.
Yes.
What, girl? What?
Yes, I wanted to make sure we touched on that. That made me laugh so much. The way she's contributing is putting up with his RCF.
She's contributing by putting up with him and not leaving him.
Yeah, just by putting up with his resting constipation face.
With who he is as a person. Something's very wrong.
I do find it odd that her mother owns a shop that she could be working in at the very, very, very least. Like, help your mom out.
Right. I love how the mom just walks in unannounced. The mom's reaction to Javon. So first of all, her mom did not say one single word in this scene. However, the impression that I got said 1,000 words.
What did it say?
She loves him. It was so sweet. She comes in, she hugs him, they group hug, she's stroking his arm, she's stroking his chest, she's wiping sweat off his face. I thought it was adorable.
Yeah, I read that different.
Oh, convince me.
Okay, your mom comes into your house and pulls out your partner and starts wiping sweat off his face. I don't know. That would make me so uncomfortable. Like, Mom, stop touching him.
I see this as a cultural difference. So I see Annalyn's mom's physical affection as a cultural show of her love for her daughter and
Oh.
her love for Javon as the provider for her daughter. Annalyn's mom has watched Javon provide financially for Annalyn for 6 years. That's huge. I think the mom is appreciative and supportive of their relationship, and I think she truly loves Javon, and in her culture, that's a normal way of showing it.
Yeah, I think she truly loves Javon. Like, she has a crush on him.
No, no.
And even Annalyn commented on it. She's like, oh, my mom's touching him and rubbing sweat off his face.
She commented on it in an endearing, approving way. You have not convinced me. It's just not weird to me. I don't know why. I think one of the reasons that I think it's so cute and endearing is Annalyn's reaction to it in the interview. I took her reaction to be approving and loving, and she even says it, they're group hugging. She says, my two favorite people here in the room with me, my mom and my husband.
Yeah.
I think it was sweet.
Yeah, I love it for her if she's comfortable with it. I just don't want my mother coming into my home and stroking my husband's sweat off of his face. And tell me honestly, do you want your mother to do that to your partner culturally in America?
Not culturally in America. If I were a Filipino woman, maybe I think that I would. Like, what I'll say is that my mom does have a close, loving, almost like admiration type relationship with my partner. She loves him. She admires him. She tells him she's proud of him. She expresses those things in very open, culturally appropriate ways, which I think that's what Annalyn's mom is doing.
I do agree with you there. And Americans, we are very, very talkative. We express that through like what you're saying, the verbal affirmations, but we will not physically connect until a certain or past a certain point. So I think that is very cultural. You definitely have convinced me of that. I had a French teacher once who said, if there's an American and a French person in an elevator together, the American will talk from the other side of the elevator. And they'll tell you everything about their lives from afar. The French person won't say a word, but they will stand shoulder to shoulder with you. So it definitely is a spatial thing that we have in America.
I love that, Sammy. That is a perfect visualization to this conversation that we're having. I just need you to say it one more time. Did I convince you?
Okay, yes, you convinced me.
Stig and Aviva are driving. They're on the way to those tables set up out in the ocean, to the bar set in the water. They are so icy to each other on that drive.
Yeah, they are icy because of the phone conversation still. Is that it?
Because of the phone conversation, because of everything going on between them. Stig has not gotten over the fact that Aviva was on her phone nonstop during his concert, and he thinks she was talking to a guy friend.
I thought that was out of nowhere because I was under the impression that he was just mad she wasn't paying enough attention to him during his show. But now it comes out that he thinks she might be talking to another guy.
Which she absolutely is not. She's talking to her best friend who she has told Stig about on multiple occasions. He's just making that up, pulling this out of his ass. Aviva thinks he's projecting. What do you think?
Oh, 1,000% he's projecting.
Right. Because whatever Aunt Spring shows him on her phone, cannot wait to see whatever the hell that is. But he is not as innocent as he wants all of us to believe.
Dude, Aunt Spring coming in with the receipts.
Aunt Spring. I was so glad she had receipts. I love her more and more. The more I see her, the more she is my favorite person.
She's another great family member. And I will say, a woman scorned. She is the wrong woman to mess with because she's been scorned by a Belizean man. And she's not going to let that happen to Aviva. But at the water, gorgeous picnic tables in the water. How cool is that?
So pretty. Can you imagine just standing in the water the seats were in the water, but the tabletop was above so you can stand or sit. Oh my gosh,
Yes.
Take me.
Take us there. One of my favorite cafes in the world actually is on a little island off of Tunisia called Kirkana, and they do the same thing, but it's not picnic tables. It's plastic, like white plastic tables and plastic chairs, but they put them out in the water. So you're not as deep as those were. You're about calf deep. And they bring you tea, and it's amazing. So that was really reminiscent of that.
I love that.
And Stig tells her, he does admit to overreacting. He says, I overreacted about the texting thing at my show. However, he tells her that they're moving too fast and they need to start using protection.
She is not happy about that. She wants to actively try to have a baby. She thinks that that's where they are in their relationship, Sammy.
She says that in the car or an interview or something. She says, I was hoping by the end of this trip to be engaged and be pregnant. Girl. Like, get the man to the States first so you have some postpartum support.
Or at least get to know who the fuck he is. Like, know who the father of your child is going to be. So they have that whole conversation, and then they drive down, they meet Aunt Spring. Just her vibe from the beginning. Aunt Spring is not taking shit. She is serious. She calls out his charming ways.
Well, even Aviva tells him, don't be too cocky. She knows Aunt Spring's going to take him down a few notches.
She knows Aunt Spring. What do you think of the fact that Aunt Spring wouldn't show Aviva whatever it is she shows Stig on her phone in front of her? She has to pull Stig aside. Why can't this conversation be had in front of Aviva?
I feel like Aunt Spring thought she would get a more honest answer without Aviva there.
Oh, okay. That makes so much more sense than whatever I was thinking. I just keep viewing Aviva as this fragile little flower who needs to be protected, who can't see the truth, who just lives in this little bubble. Almost the word that comes to my mind is coddled, which that seems so harsh. So Aunt Spring pulling Stig aside in this situation, to me, it came off as that. Like, oh, Aviva can't see the truth, so I have to pull Stig aside and talk to him about it.
Oh, I thought it was entirely opposite, that she's gonna tell Aviva the truth. She wants Aviva's, I don't think she wants Aviva to be hurt, but she wants Aviva's feelings to be hurt enough to wake up and open her eyes.
Yeah.
I thought maybe Aunt Spring thought she wouldn't be able to go hard enough on Stig with Aviva there. Like Aviva might tell her to back off or back down or make excuses for Stig or justify things. And she didn't want Aviva to be able to do that. She wanted to be able to say whatever she wanted to Stig.
Like Aviva was going to protect Stig. That definitely makes a lot more sense. And I also think that she wants to confront Stig, and then Aunt Spring wants Stig to be the one to tell Aviva what's going on.
Right.
Aunt Spring doesn't want to be the bad guy. She wants to confront Stig. She wants to say, I know. She's going to give him an ultimatum. Look, if you don't tell Aviva the truth, I will.
But also she knows that Stig has to be the one or Aviva won't pay attention. Because she has already told Aviva this. She has already been the bad guy. And it didn't work. She has already provided receipts. And Aviva just brushed them off. So she knows the only way Aviva is going to listen the fuck up is if Stig straight out admits it to her. And I think that's more her approach.
I agree.
Can you believe they haven't said I love you yet, though?
Yes, I can believe it. They don't fucking know each other, Sammy.
No, I just mean I was surprised. I thought, I don't think they actually love each other, but I thought they had said it. I thought there was that pretext there of we're in love and that's why I'm getting pregnant by you.
I don't know, dude. From the airport meeting when she's so embarrassed and cutesy, they barely know each other. It does not surprise me they haven't said I love you. I do not think it's the man's responsibility to say it first. What?
No, of course not. I think she's just insecure about his feelings, so she's not going to say it first and put herself out there if he's not going to say it back. And I do respect him for saying, I'm not there yet. I want to say it when I truly know it.
Right. Okay, still to come this season on Before the 90 Days. Forrest and Sheena are having sexy time, it looks like. Annalyn's pregnant.
All right, here we go.
Okay, Elise. Elise is back from 90 Day Fiance Hunt for Love shows up. Sammy, my little brain exploded. Worlds colliding. I know she's from the 90 Day universe, but to have her show up on episode 10 and from a completely different vibe of 90 Days. She's an American, the most outspoken, loud, gregarious. She has found her way into the franchise. This shocked me.
I was shocked there's a new couple this far into the season. Does that mean one of the other couples break up and we don't follow them anymore? This is so far in to introduce new people.
Well, if one of the new couples does break up, I think it's Emma and Ziad.
Really?
Based on this still to come segment, because Emma meets up with Muhammad. If that's not going to break them up, what is?
That's right. I thought it might be Trish and Rick, but we do see she does introduce him to her dad after all this.
There are so many couples on the rocks right now. It could be Rick and Trish who break up. Emma and Ziad. It could be Lauren Beercon because Michael shows up.
No.
My biggest prediction is that it's Emma and Ziad.
Yeah.
Because I think that Rick and Trisha aren't going to make it, but their storyline is going to make it. Same with Lauren Beercon. Emma and Ziad's storyline has been so blah. I could see theirs ending to make room for apparently Elise. What?
I'm delighted.
So as you said, Rick meets Trisha's dad, Emma meets up with Muhammad, and Michael shows up. So that's what we have to look forward to.
And Lisa finally tells Daniel that she's still married to a woman.
And finally tells him.
We'll see how that plays out. Couple quick questions this week is a friends and family edition, specifically Stig meets Aunt Spring. Ready, Emily?
Perfect. I'm ready.
Is she what you expected?
Yes, Aunt Spring was everything I expected and more. She was harsh. She was real. She was straightforward. She was honest. I'm here for Aunt Spring every second of the way.
She was beautiful. She's literally Aviva in like 20 years.
I was thinking that. Like, Stig, look at your future. If you marry Aviva, so cute. So cute.
Is Stig surprised by Aunt Spring?
I don't think Stig is surprised by Aunt Spring. I don't necessarily think he knows how to handle her. I think that Aviva gave him heads up. I think Aviva prepped him on the way that Aunt Spring was going to interact with him. Aviva didn't make Stig think that it was going to be this beautiful, welcoming reaction. Stig knows he's headed to the gauntlet with Aunt Spring.
I think he was a little surprised that he couldn't charm her pants off right away because he's used to doing that. Does she support the relationship?
No, she wants to break them up. She doesn't, and that's so harsh. She doesn't want to break them up. She wants Aviva to see the truth about Stig and make her own smart, informed decision about her own life.
Right. And to her credit, I don't think she has an agenda that she doesn't want Aviva to be with any Belizean man. And I think she just sees red flags and she does care that Aviva doesn't get hurt.
Absolutely.
How does Aunt Spring feel about Aviva traveling to Belize?
Oh, I think she loves it. I think she's supportive. I think, like you said, it's not that she doesn't want Aviva to find a Belizean partner. She just doesn't think it's Stig.
Would she ever find a 90-day fiance?
Well, she did. And as she tells us, she wishes she could still live there. So yes, absolutely. She has done so. She was married to a Belizean man for 20 years. And she expresses that she wishes it was still working out. She wants to still be there living that life.
She kind of was the 90-day fiance. I mean, I don't know Belizean rules, but she was the foreign fiance. Where would you go in this episode?
Oh my goodness. I would 100% go to the Kawa bath.
Oh, yeah.
With Forrest and Sheena and Dev and Molly. Get me one of those tubs right next to them, by the way. Like, they looked like they were having so much fun. I want to use one of those back scratchers. I want those herbs and flowers and perfumes.
I would also go there and to the luxurious house, as Molly calls it.
Right. My 90-day takeaway this week, Sammy, is specifically for you. Don't judge a banana by its peel. There's 1,000 other types of bananas out there, girl. Open your mind.
Okay. I'm going to take that as my takeaway too. And as soon as I get out of this one banana country, I will go find me some better bananas. Amen.
That's it, Fiancé Freaks. If you liked this episode, be sure to match our freak by subscribing, leaving a review, and following 90-Day Fiancé Freaks on social media for more.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.